Good morning, grade 4 students. How are you? Now we are going to start a new English lecture. This is lecture number 4, week 32. We are now in unit 2, week 5 in your English books. What are we going to cover in this lecture? We're going to read and spell words with suffixes. Use simile, this is not a new, and metaphor, this is metaphor is a new skill to deduce new words meanings, identify genre poetry and haiku, determine the rhyme scheme of a poem, and identify the author's point of view. This is also an old skill. Phonics, you can refer to phonics practice book pages 55 till 59 and the reading writing workshop pages 150 till 153. Let's continue. So first we're going to start with phonics and then we'll move on to vocab words. We have only 4 vocabulary words. We have the word brittle, creative, outstretched, and descriptive. I'm going to read them one more time. Brittle, creative, outstretched, descriptive. Number 3, we have 4 poems in the reading writing workshop, pages 150 till 153. We're going to be introduced into other skills, like the genre this time is poetry and haiku. An author's point of view, we're going to find out what is the author's point of view from a poem. Meter and rhyme, what are these 2 words? And simile and metaphor. Let's start with the phonics. Suffix. A suffix is a letter, could be 1 letter or a group of letters added at the end of a word which makes a new word. Let's find out more. For example, I have the letters li. As you can see, I can add them at the end of a word. So sick, this is the base or the root word. Sickly means in a sick way, sickly. Second one, hardly. So I write the root word and then I add L and Y, hardly. Quickly, slowly, carefully. Now here, the root word is care and we added 2 suffixes, full and ly, carefully. Here I have full, as in wonderful, means full of wonders. Beautiful, as you can see, beauty, it ended with Y. Now here I should cancel the Y, make it I, and then add the suffix full. Graceful, spoonful, means full of spoon or spoonful of something. Thoughtful. Another suffix I have ness, as in darkness, illness, goodness, weakness. We have also less, as in shapeless, ageless, spotless, painless. And the last one, I use it for comparison as well. We have est, when we add est, as in darkest and clearest. I know that you can find more words with suffixes and maybe also you know more suffixes than the ones mentioned here. So what are we going to do here? We're going to solve this question just to practice using these words. You can refer to your practice book, page 58. These are the words that we're going to use: carefully, spoonful, wonderful, goodness, painless, darkest, beautiful, clearest, slowly, ageless. Write the spelling word that best completes each sentence. Number 1. The road was what? Where there were no street lights. The road was, if there is no street light, it means it's dark. So the road was darkest. Number 2, the student checked her test answers. The student, which one do you think? Is it carefully, spoonful, beautiful, wonderful? So the answer is carefully. Number 3, I had a what time at the lake and would like to go back. Apparently, this person had a wonderful time. Number 4, my grandmother looks so young that people say she is what? Ageless. I took a lot of medicine and felt better. You have to take a spoonful of medicine. Means a spoon that is full of medicine. The car moved so what that I thought we'd never get there. So the car apparently moved so slowly, in a slow way. Number 7, the scrape on my knee was what and healed quickly. This scrape, apparently, it was painless, without pain. Painless means without pain. Number 8, the what model was known for her pretty face? What's another word for pretty? Beautiful. The beautiful model. Number 9, she gave me this for free out of the what of her heart? Out of the goodness. She's good. The sky had no clouds and was the what I had ever seen. Which one we have? It has no clouds. We still have the word clearest. Apparently the sky was so clear that there were no clouds. B, still page 58. Write the spelling word that matches each definition below. We have these words to use: sickly, quickly, illness, shapeless, weakness, spotless, hardly, graceful, darkness, thoughtful. Number 11, lack of light. There is no light means without light means darkness. Number 12, perfectly clean. There's no spot means spotless. Number 13, lack of strength. No strength. He's feeling weak. So we have weakness. Number 14, sickness. Sickness means in a sick way, and it also means illness. Illness. Barely. I can barely stand this show or this movie. It means I cannot stand it. I can hardly stand it. Number 16, not healthy. This is not healthy. It means this is sickly, probably. Yes. It makes you feel sick. Number 17, elegant in form. Elegant means graceful. Elegant means graceful. Number 18, kind and considerate. When someone is kind and considerate, it means he is thoughtful. Number 19, without form. It has no form. It has no shape. Without shape. Without form. Shapeless. And the last one in a fast way. This one's easy. Quickly. Now we will move on to the vocab words. We have these vocabulary words. Brittle. Brittle. The brittle, dry. So here brittle also means dry. You can deduce the meaning from the sentence, from the clues in the sentence. Context clue. Dry leaf fell apart when I closed my hand around it. What is something else that is brittle? Think about this question. Number 2, creative. The florist made original and creative flower arrangements. Describe a time when you were creative. So creative is when you create something. Descriptive. The speaker gave a vivid means full of images. Descriptive talk about the rainforest. Talk about your favorite activity in a descriptive way. Last one, outstretched. The seagull glided through the air on outstretched wings. What is an antonym for outstretched? So now I want you to think of these words and try to figure out the meanings, probably use them in sentences. We're going to go in details with these words. Brittle. If something is brittle, it is easily broken. This is the meaning of brittle. For example, the brittle dry leaf, as you can see here, fell apart when I closed my hand around it. Let's watch this small clip to see what do they mean by the word brittle.
Brittle. If something is brittle, it means it is easily broken.
See how the leaf was easily broken? Here we have the word descriptive. Descriptive things describe or tell about something. The speaker gave a vivid descriptive talk about the rainforest. So you have to describe something in details and use describing words as many as you can. For example, you can say, the trees were huge. You know, huge is a describing word. It looked all green. So also the colors, these are describing words. Outstretched, outstretched means extended to full length. Look at this bird. Okay, outstretched wings, extended to full length. The seagull glided through the air on outstretched wings. Let's watch this small clip.
Outstretched. Outstretched means extended to full length.
Use vocabulary words. Fill in the blanks for each vocab and concept word. What might happen if you drop something brittle? It will break. Easily broken. Remember, brittle means easily broken. When would it not be easy to have outstretched legs? You cannot extend your legs to the maximum. In a crowded place, for example, maybe in a plane. Where would you find a creative piece of art? Creative, something original, something new. In a museum. What is descriptive word about the wave? What do you think about waves? How can you describe the waves? Crashing waves, for example. Now we will move on to poetry. These are terms that we need to learn about poetry. First, I have the word metaphor. Metaphor. For example, the garbage truck is a monster. Now, as you can see here, I have a metaphor. Why? Because I'm comparing two unlike things. The garbage truck, I'm comparing it to a monster. So here I say that I'm using a metaphor. I didn't say, for example, the garbage truck is like a monster. There is no like in this sentence. So when there is no like, it means here I have a metaphor. Whereas in a simile, for example, the long grass is like hair. So here I use the word like. It means I'm comparing two things that I'm using like or as. I'm using like or as. Next, I have the word rhyme. Two words rhyme when they sound the same, such as claw and draw. So, what word rhymes with fall? Think about it. I want a word that rhymes with fall. It means that the ending sound rhymes with the word fall. Now, at last, I have the word meter. Meter is the pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables. For example, how does a strong meter affect the rhythm of a poem? So we're going to talk about meter in details when we read or when we start solving some exercises. Let's start with the first poem. Dog, a brown boomerang, my dog flies off, arcs his way back into my arms, by Jeffrey Boyle. Now, what are we going to focus about? The essential question is, how are writers inspired by animals? Read how poets use creative thinking to write about animals. Let's find out. Now, in this poem, The Dog, as you can see, I have meter. I have meter. A brown boomerang, my dog flies. So here, the poet is comparing the dog to a boomerang. What is a boomerang? A boomerang it's some kind of a curved piece of wood. It looks like this, something like that, like a moon shaped, okay? And what happens is that it comes back to you if you throw it correctly. So here the poet is telling us that his dog, whenever it runs away, it comes back to the owner as a boomerang. So this is the metaphor in this poem. So here, if I asked, what does the writer compare to the boomerang? He's comparing the dog. And how is the dog like a boomerang? The dog runs, or the word flies off means runs, and then returns to his owner, just like a boomerang. So this is the meaning of these lines in this poem. Second one, I have the eagle. He clasps the crag with crooked hands, close to the sun, in lonely lands. Ringed with the azure world he stands. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. He watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt he falls. So what do these lines or these two stanzas in this poem mean? First, I have here, he clasps the crag with the crooked hands. Now, with the crooked hands, these are the hands of the eagle. Usually, the hands of an eagle are called talons. So, which one is more clear? If the poet used the word talons or if he used the word crooked hands? Of course, the words crooked hands give us a clear image of the hands of an eagle, crooked hands. Now, close to the sun in lonely lands. This means that this eagle sits or stands or lives on the high mountains close to the sun, almost close to the sun. Ringed with the azure world he stands. The azure world is actually the sky. You know, azure means blue. So the azure world is the sky. And what do I have here? I have hands, I have lands, and I have stands. So I have three rhyming words. These three words rhyme together. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. So here the wrinkled sea, he is referring to the waves. Waves, okay? So the waves makes the sea look like it is wrinkled. Crawls, because he's so high, because the eagle is so high, you can imagine that the waves, he's seeing the waves moving slowly. From the word crawls, it means moving slowly. The waves are moving slowly. This is how the eagle is seeing the sea from above. He watches from his mountain walls, and like a thunderbolt he falls. Now here I have like, it means here he used the simile. He used simile. The poet used simile to compare the what? The eagle to thunderbolt. And what does he mean by this simile? That the eagle is powerful and fast, just like thunderbolt. This is the meaning of these lines in this poem. So again, let me just give you the meaning of some words. For example, the word clasp, to clasp something means to grab it or hold it tightly, grasp. And a crag, what is a crag? Is a steep or rock or cliff. It's a steep rock or cliff. So as you can see that this rock, this means that the rock is so high that it seems it's close to the sun. He used the word close to the sun, right? And so as we said, also ringed with the azure world, it means the eagle is so high up in the sky. So this is what they want to tell us about the eagle in this poem. Chimpanzee. From branch to branch on outstretched arms. Outstretched is one of our vocabulary words. From tree to ground I leap, like, leap like pounce or jump. When I want to eat a snack, I stick a stick in termite heaps. I use my teeth to rip off leaves and make the branch all bare. Then find the hole the bugs come out and patiently wait there. My skinny branch becomes a bridge. If you look at the picture, this is the skinny branch. Now it's a bridge. And the ants are crawling, the termites are crawling just into the mouth of the monkey, of the chimpanzee. As brittle bugs climb up the stick, brittle means easily broken, I pick them off one by one and crunch them like potato chips. So after reading this chimpanzee, this poem, who is the narrator of this poem? Who is he? It's the chimpanzee, right? How can you tell that the chimpanzee is the narrator? Because it is using the first person pronoun, which is I. I stick. I use my teeth. I pick them. My skinny branch, as you can see. Okay, so what does the word brittle means here? It means easily broken, or it means not strong, as brittle bugs means not strong bugs. So can I say here, does the narrator think he is stronger and smarter than the ants? Of course, yes. Is the narrator confident that he will eat these ants? Of course, also yes. So can I say here that the author's or the poet's point of view to show that he is stronger than the ants and more smarter than the ants? Yes, this is the poet's or author's point of view. The last one I have the poem Rat. Teeth like jackhammers. What are jackhammers? Jackhammers, these are tools used to break up roads. Tools used to break up roads. These are jackhammers. It's a powerful tool. So it's like the rat. The rat has teeth that are as powerful as the jackhammers. Here I have a simile. Teeth like jackhammers. So I have a simile in this line. I chew through concrete for fun. Bring the outdoors in. So this is the end of our poems. They described the dog, the eagle, chimpanzee, and rat in a funny way. Some of them are funny. Now, what are the other skills that we said we need to cover? I have lyric, poetry, and haiku. Lyric poetry expresses the thoughts and feelings of a poet. It often has end rhymes and a consistent meter. We didn't talk too much about meter. I will show you later on. Now, a haiku uses 3 short lines to describe a scene or a moment, just like chimpanzee, by the way. Has the first and the last line of 5 syllables and a second line of 7 syllables. We will discuss this also. The voice that you hear in a poem is the speaker, just like the chimpanzee poem. The speaker's point of view is how the speaker thinks or feels. He thinks that he's smarter than the termite, if you remember. Sometimes the speaker is a character in the poem, and sometimes the speaker is telling about the character or events in a poem. So here from these poems, we're going to complete this graphic organizer. When I want to eat a snack, I stick a stick in termite heaps. So this is the chimpanzee. I use my teeth to rip off leaves. This means he's strong, right? I pick them off one by one. It means he's controlling, he's in control, he's powerful. So what is the author's point of view? That the chimpanzee is confident about finding food. Meter and rhyme. Meter is the rhythm of syllables in a line of poetry. It is created by the arrangement of accented and unaccented syllables. Words rhyme when their endings sound the same. So the rhyme, you already know the meaning of rhyme, just when we have the same ending. I'm going to talk a little bit about the meter. Usually here, it's created by the arrangement of accented and or stressed and unstressed syllables. What do we mean? If I have a single syllable word, single syllable nouns or pronoun like I, he, she, it, or verbs and adjectives, they tend to be stressed more often than not in a poetry. Two syllable words of nouns and adjectives, first syllable is stressed. Here I have, so usually single syllable nouns, okay, single syllable words like nouns, pronouns, verbs, and adjectives, they are going to be stressed in a poetry. If I have a word that is made of two syllables, just like picture or person. Now, what do we have? The first syllable usually is stressed. Picture, picture. So you say the first syllable loud. It's stressed means with high pitch, louder. So you say picture. Can you hear the first syllable more stressed? Or the second one I have person, person. Now, usually in verbs, the second syllable is stressed. For example, you say decide. So you use high pitch when you say the second syllable of the verb. Decide, support, support. So the first syllable is unstressed, but the second syllable is more stressed. This is what they mean by meter. So usually when they make a poem, we have to find the meter, like, is it stressed, unstressed? You can use 1 and 0, for example, or S and U for stressed and unstressed syllables. Let's do some exercises regarding meter, just to understand it even more. Simile and metaphor, these are easy. A simile is a comparison made using like or as. For example, straight as an arrow. A metaphor is also a comparison, but is made without like or as. For example, the grass was a green carpet. So I didn't use the words like or as, but I'm still comparing the grass to a green carpet. Let's find here. Read the lines of the lyric poem below. Deer, then they dart away, their tails held high. 6 white arrows point at the sky. We don't even get to say goodbye. Now here, what do I say? I'm using A, B, B, B. I will tell you later on what do we mean by these letters. Into the night they disappear, and though they move as quick as spears, a little later they'll be back here. As you can see, the ending here, high, sky, by. Here I have the same rhyme. All these words rhyme at the end. The ending line rhymes. So I can assign the letter A to this rhyme, high, to the I sound at the end, sky, by. I'm assigning letter A to it. In the second stanza, I have here disappear, spear, here. So this second stanza, I have the ear sound at the end, right? So I assigned B, the letter B, to the second rhyming words. This one here is called the rhyme scheme. Rhyme scheme. Okay? Let's start. Number 1, find 2 examples of rhyme in the poem and write them below. This question is easy. There are many rhyming words. You can say high sky, like tails held high at the sky, they disappear quick as spears. So this one is, the answers to this question may vary. What kind of meter appears in the poem? The rhyme always ends on an stressed syllable. Here, as I said, 1 syllable. Do you remember what we said earlier? 1 syllable words always stressed. High, sky, by. So these are 1 syllable words. This is all what I want you to know about meter now, okay? You don't have to find all the stressed and the unstressed words. Just keep in mind that if I have 1 syllable word, it means it is stressed. It's a stressed syllable. What is the rhyme scheme of this poem? I already explained the rhyme scheme, so I can say the rhyme scheme of this poem is what? A, B, B, B. And then if there are more stanzas, they should follow the same rhyme scheme: A, B, B, B. What do we have here? Read each passage, underline the simile or metaphor in the sentence, then write the two things that are being compared on the lines. This question is easy. Let's read. We see them sitting under trees. They're still talking about deer. At night in my yard, like a photo of a family. So what are the two things that are being compared here? They are comparing here. If you look, you can see the word like, right? So I have a simile. So who are like a photo of a family? Of course, they mean the deer. The deer sitting. So the deer, we see them sitting under trees. So the deer, they're talking about the deer sitting, and a family photo. These are the two things that are being compared. Second one, then they dart away, their tails held high. 6 white arrows point at the sky. So what are the things being compared? What are the things that are like 6 white arrows point at the sky? They're talking about the tails. So the tails are being compared to arrows. Okay, so the deer tails and the arrows. And here I have metaphor. I do not have a simile. Into the night sky, into the night they disappear. And though they move as quick as spears. So who moves as quick as spears? Also the deer. A little later they'll be back here. So I have the word as quick as. So this is a simile because I have the word as. It means the deer running and the flying spears. So the deer are running just like the image or the picture of flying spears. This is the end of our Zoom lecture. I hope you enjoyed it. See you during our Zoom in order to discuss it more in details.